Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, on a similar theme, proposing a wealth tax in order to pay for a universal child care program. Let's take a listen to Senator Warren.
Not just the children of the wealthy, not just the children of the well-connected, but every one of our children is entitled to good child care and early learning experiences. When people say, so that's going to be really expensive, and the answer is it is. We can pay for it. I've got a way. The ultra-millionaires tax.
Forbes publisher Rich Karlgaard joins us now, and FBN AM co-host Lauren Simonetti is with us as well. Rich, I'll ask you about this first because I'll key in on the last 2 or 3 words that we heard from Elizabeth Warren and the term she's using. She's not saying a millionaire's tax or tax on the wealthy. She's going with this ultra-millionaires tax, which seems to be kind of the way of 2019. We used to say, well, we're going to tax the well-off, and we'd say, oh, $250,000 or $500,000. But now this one is a net worth of $50 million or higher. So those things kind of grow in popularity, whatever the merits of them are, because there's just not a lot of people that it affects, right?
Well, the problem is that when you look at entitlements as a percentage of the U.S. federal budget, it's already about 70%, and it's going to 80 and going to 85. And so adding this as an entitlement would basically crowd out everything else, including military spending. So you've got that problem. The other problem is that I think a lot of these left-wing Democrats imagine that these rich people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos are sitting on a pile of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, when in fact, if you're gonna tax their wealth, you're gonna force them to sell shares in their own company. That's the only way that that would happen.
No, that's also a very good point. We have misconceptions, Lauren. I think we saw this with the Amazon story too, about how money kind of works. In other words, if you're a rich person, how much of the money you have is liquid, or in the Amazon case, if you're a company supposedly getting $3 billion, you're not really getting it. It's tax incentives. So it's easy to talk about these things, but actually implementing them is something completely different.
And even if you can implement them, Connell, and you might bring in more tax revenue, have that money to do all of these great, grand missions like universal child care. But what you see is people leave, and they leave with their money, capital flight, and sometimes, and very often, that could be bigger than the revenue it actually brings in. And we've seen that play out in many European countries, particularly France.
So the way these Democratic candidates, Rich, kind of go about it, and I was getting to this with Phil a little bit, is going to be interesting. I mentioned Kamala Harris in our last conversation, but you look at somebody like Amy Klobuchar, the senator from Minnesota, and she was asked similar questions to the ones that Harris was asked up in New Hampshire. And, for example, on free college, which is a big thing on the left right now, she says, no, we can't afford that. And people are looking at her like, really? Well, are you a true Democrat? What's your story? So I wonder if that is the lane for a so-called moderate, or if that even is moderate these days.
Well, yeah, I think Amy Klobuchar, she's proven that she has bipartisan support in Minnesota. Minnesota, by definition, is kind of a centrist state. There's something about Minnesota, maybe because it's so cold, it freezes out rabid populism. But you can already see that the hard left is attacking her. You see that the opposition research on she's a tough boss. And that's already come out, and that didn't happen by accident.
No, not the timing of it. I mean, you'd have to be quite, I guess, naive to say that, boy, that's interesting. She's just about to announce, and now we have these stories that we've never heard before making their rounds. But what about that, Lauren? The idea that is there a centrist lane for these Democrats? We talk all the time about the move to the left, but every now and again you hear somebody like an Amy Klobuchar saying, well, maybe there's an opportunity here to be different.
You started the show in your first segment, Connell, with Phil, talking about how Bernie Sanders basically was the beginning of all of this. Back to the Future. He was the imprint of this socialist movement that has become mainstream within the Democratic Party. I'm not sure it's mainstream. In fact, it's not mainstream across America. So I think as these multitude and growing number of Democratic candidates for 2020 emerge, they have to differentiate amongst each other. So I wrote down some of these crazy taxes. AOC income tax rate of 70%. Bernie Sanders estate tax rates as much as 77%. That is not realistic or feasible for so many. So yes, Senator Klobuchar is trying to carve what could be successful in the Democratic Party, this way down the middle.
Right. A lot of people like
centrist.
it in the
but the energy's
general.
on the left.
Yes,
that's
getting
the problem.
through the primary is the issue. Rich, good to see you. Lauren, good to see you as always.